beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, thank you so much for tuning in, and if you've already been watching, thank you so much again for tuning in. I am an artist, a creator. All of my content is created to inspire you with truth, honesty, creativity, and all that good stuff, so I'm sure you will connect here. So let's just get right into the message. Let's vibe. So what we're going to talk about today is loneliness and being alone. I want to talk about my own personal experience as of recently going through loneliness, and basically how you cannot let that control you and like deplete you, but instead uplift you and inspire you. So that's what we're going to get into right now. So part of the reason that I felt really inspired to talk about this, well, actually, let's first start off with what is alone versus what is feeling lonely. So alone is like right now, I'm sitting here filming a video alone. I'm by myself, or I'm working alone, or I'm going to the park alone, or just doing something alone, and you're just solo, you're just alone. Now, lonely is feeling like the absence of connection, and I feel intimacy with other people. Like, oh, I'm lonely, I'm feeling like the connections that I want to have, I don't have, or the love I want to share and feel from other people, I don't have. So that's kind of more what lonely is. It's more so feeling the absence of a connection that you want to feel. And loneliness doesn't just have to mean like, oh, I'm lonely for a romantic partner. You can be lonely for a plethora of reasons, and you can be alone for a plethora of reasons. Every individual and every person is different. Like, every individual experience is different. So I felt like really inspired to talk about this because this is like something I've been going through lately in my life, to really be honest, vulnerable, candid, truthful, all that stuff with you guys. I am definitely in a space in my life where I have felt more lonely than I ever have, but it's also a weird feeling because I also feel like my life is really good. Like, there's a lot of great things happening. I feel like there's a lot of things I'm grateful for. I'm feeling really good in a lot of different aspects, but there's still this essence of feeling lonely, of feeling like, for me, why I feel lonely is because I feel like the intimate connections that I want, I don't have. The sisterhood of having that like sisterhood of best friends and girlfriends, feeling like I don't really have that, feeling like I don't have a bunch of like divine masculine men who I feel like are my bros, like I don't feel like I have a lot of that. I don't have the intimate relationships that I want, and that's why I connect that back to basically the feeling of lonely, because it's like feeling like I don't have the connections that I want and the love that I want to share and feel from people I don't necessarily have. So this is what's been going on in my own life, just feeling like, like I'm just lonely. And I wanted to share this because I know it's something that so many people go through that don't really want to talk about it. Like, oh, like in my case, I was like, oh, I shouldn't be lonely because I have all these other things going on, or I shouldn't be feeling lonely because I love myself. So I can't feel lonely because I can just love myself, and like all these different things, or I can't feel lonely because of this. But it's like, you have every right to feel whatever you feel, and just because you feel lonely doesn't mean that like you don't like the people that are in your life, or that your life isn't as beautiful and as amazing, and that you aren't as grateful for it as you are. It just means like, hey, right now, yes, this is a truth for my life right now. Maybe I don't have the relationships, the intimate relationships that I really want, and that's okay. It's stepping away from like feeling bad that you even feel that way, because that will also eat you up too. Like, you feel bad that you even feel lonely, like, oh, I shouldn't feel lonely, I should be sufficient in my own energy. And it's just like, that's just like unrealistic to think you're never ever going to feel lonely, because it's like we're naturally going to feel that way if we feel like we don't have what we want and need within our heart space. Like, if I don't feel like I have the relationships I want in my life, of course I'm going to feel lonely because I don't have them. But that doesn't mean that the sun isn't shining and that there aren't beautiful babies to see and dogs to pet and amazingness in life. That just means that's something that I'm going through right now in my life. And the same for you. It's okay to feel lonely, and it's okay to be alone as well. And also why I wanted to share this is because I've been realizing in my own personal life how I have to kind of sit in it. I have to like sit in it and express it and be like, you know what, yeah, this is something that I'm feeling right now, and it's okay. It's okay. And in the acknowledgement of those emotions, of those feelings, I can then honor like what's next. Because sometimes our feelings, well, a lot of times with our feelings, they don't even want to stay. They want to float right through you, but we resist them because we don't want to feel them. So we just keep trying to push it and push it and push it away. But it's like, no, let it take over. Let it take over for that minute, but know that you're separate from it. And just let it take over, let yourself feel it, and then let it go, let it float on by. Because in an effort of honoring the fact that, yeah, hey, I do feel lonely, I almost immediately felt less lonely because I finally acknowledged it. And then I kind of filled my own space up with the acknowledgement of those emotions. And that's, I feel, what we can all do for ourselves. And realize it's all, you know, it's a perspective of how you decide to view your loneliness or being alone. Like, at first it was, you know, triggering feelings, and I know for a lot of us it triggers feelings of insecurity, that there's something wrong with us, there's something wrong with me, this is why I'm not having the friendships, the relationships, the connections that I want to, because there's something with me that's going on that is not allowing that to come in, and everyone else has it but I don't. But knowing that that's not really true, and just because, you know, for me as well, it's like just because I feel lonely in essence, that doesn't mean that there's nobody in my life that likes me, or there's nobody in my life that loves me and supports me. This is just something I'm experiencing right now. So it's important to like see that as well. See that with this perspective, which I was saying is like everything is perspective, and also seeing like, hey, like instead of viewing me being alone in a negative light, and I'm speaking for all of us, but also for myself, I have now decided to step into a place of realizing that this is a time for me to reinvent myself, for me to rediscover myself, for me to reach new levels of success, because I have the time and the energy to just focus on myself, for me to detach from things that aren't working for me, from maybe those relationships that aren't feeding me what I need, so I can now create space for more of those relationships that do really match and do really fill me the way I need and want. And I'll create more space to manifest those. And that's really where I've been in. Where I was once sad about being lonely, I'm now using that as a tool to empower me and be like, wow, okay, the universe is setting me up for greatness. I know that this can't last forever. I know it can't rain forever. The sun's got to come out. So it's like realizing that, wow, like I'm being set up right now to heal myself, to focus, to realign myself, to rediscover myself, to reach new levels of everything that I want, so I can be then more of a match for people who are more a reflection of my truth. As just like a little side story and note, for me personally, through my journey of self-evolution, self-love, self-growth, I realized how a lot of the relationships in my life were reflecting my pain and were reflecting who I thought I was, who I was in my mind, and they weren't necessarily reflecting who I really felt I was in my heart and in my soul. And so over time, you know, I did separate from a lot of friendships and relationships, because I'm like, you're not really a reflection of who I want to be and what I want. It's like everyone has their own like morals and guidelines and what they will tolerate and what they won't tolerate. Sorry, there's like a hair. Gotcha. But everyone will accept everyone has what they will accept, what they will tolerate, and everything. And for myself, through having a lot of undesirable experiences with friends, I've realized what I will tolerate and what I won't tolerate, and that has able to give me a certain level of discernment to know when these friendships that I really want do come in. I'm able to see because of my past experiences. It's giving me the wisdom to now know, and that's what I mean by we're being set up. You know, we're being set up to find people who really match us, people who really connect with us, reflect us, who are really a match for the connections we want. And it's up to us to look at it in that perspective. And when we look at it in that perspective, we not only give ourselves comfort and peace and hope, but we then create space for that really to come through and manifest for us because we believe it. And know that, like, you're not unworthy, you're not unlovable, you're not unliked. People don't hate you. It's just something you're experiencing right now on the journey of your evolution, and it's okay, because we all experience that in one form or another. We all experience loneliness. We all experience having to be alone. And if you're envious of someone who has not experienced what it's like to be alone, like, because I feel like that's a lot of the cases, especially with social media and things like that. We're really envious of these people with all these amazing friendships. We see a picture with people with their best friends and we're like, where's my best friends? But it's like, you don't know that person's life. You don't know that person's journey. You don't know what those people are going through. What if all those people went through the biggest transformation of their life and they just became friends? What if, like, those are unhealthy relationships? Like, we have no idea what the circumstances is. So it's like, don't compare and just, like, let everything be. But also know, as I was referring to, and the point I was trying to make is that you could be jealous of someone in their situation and what they have going on, but they still haven't even gone through the transformation that you're going through right now. Because we're all going to experience certain things, whether we experience it at different points and at different times. We all are going to experience what it's like to, grow, mature, be independent, feel confident, worthy, loved. So maybe you're ahead of the game, looking at it in a different perspective, being like, hey, where I think I'm behind, I could actually be ahead. And maybe those people that I'm so jealous of, maybe they're still working through those transformations themselves. That was just like a little side note, but I feel like it's little things like that you can implement into your perspective, that can make you feel better and give you comfort, and realize you could be jealous of someone who is in a terrible relationship, is basically what I'm trying to say. You could be jealous of friends who secretly hate each other, but you have no idea because you're so focused on what your mind's telling you. And it's just like, step out of that and be like, I'm going to create a new perspective for myself, and I'm going to decide, hey, guess what? I may be a little lonely right now, but that's beautiful, because I can fill up my time with all the things that I love and that I enjoy, and I can be everything that I need for myself instead of relying on other people to do that. So then when I do meet the friendships that give me what I need, for one, because of my experiences, I'll have the wisdom of discernment to be able to see that those are the real friends for me. And I'll be able to appreciate them because of everything that I've gone to. And I'll be able to stand firm in my independence because I know what it's like to be alone and be happy and be comfortable, because I've had to learn what it's like. It's all perspective. It's all how we decide to view things. It's like all perspective. But I really wanted to tell you guys all that to just give you guys some comfort, because it's not easy. I can tell you right now for myself, like, it has not been easy to go through this journey that I've gone through lately of feeling lonely. Like, it is not easy. It can be very discouraging at times, especially when you're really focused. You really feel like you have a lot of things going on in your life where you're like, I really would love to have people that get me, but be like, hey, that's okay. They're coming. But right now, I'm just gonna have so much fun with me. I'm just gonna watch movies with me. I'm just gonna go on adventures with me. I'm gonna go find new things that I love, that I enjoy. I'm gonna give me so much, so that my cup's full, and that the loneliness doesn't get more power than it needs to. Use it as something that you can grow from, but not something that deteriorates you and makes you shrink and makes you go into your shadow and makes you feel unworthy and unloved. But unloved. That's basically the point that I wanted to make, is like, get comfortable with your loneliness and with being alone, and don't let that make you feel unworthy or unlovable, because the truth is, you're amazing, you're wonderful, you're spectacular. There's millions and thousands and hundreds of people just waiting to connect to someone just as amazing as you are, and you're worthy of those connections that you want, and they're worthy of you too. So keep going, stay strong, and have some fun with yourself. Hey, like, why not? And also spend some time appreciating the people you do have in your life, because they are giving you something that, hey, maybe you're not getting from, like, maybe in your heart you're not getting what you need from those relationships, but they are playing an important role because they are there, and in the loneliness you're able to see the beauty that they do hold in your life. So definitely take that into consideration as well. More gratitude for yourself and others is definitely a key point. So I really hope you guys really felt that, and I feel like I made a lot of different points in this video, but all vital points. Yeah, I really just hope you connected to it, and that the right person, and I know it did, the right person found this, and the right people find it. And yeah, I just hope that I just said, like, I hope you 300 times, but literally I hope you find what you need. Just have an amazing day. I hope this video found everything that you needed, and I'm sending you so much love, so much light. Peace.